Yeah, it can be.
Yeah, I would agree.
I don't like free to play. I'm playing Star Wars right now, and it's okay. It's all right. But I just feel like, you know what would make this game more awesome? If it was just a complete fucking game that I spent $60 on up front.
Yeah.
But, you know, so that this can lead into,
totally
like, the
agree.
Kickstarter thing, too. Like, would either of you put money towards a Kickstarter campaign for, like, you see maybe a game design, I don't want to call it a doc, but like a premise. Like the guy, one of the original guys who did Man is coming out with he wants to come out with a new game, and that went on Kickstarter. And, you know, it got a lot of people interested because it looked like old Mega Man, if, you know, and people were interested in that. Would you maybe kickstart a game?
Why I have. I've kickstarted Shadowrun, and I've kickstarted Wasteland 2. And I paid about $60 for both of them to get, like, they have all their extras and shit. But basically I paid for what I felt was the cost of a game, you know, in modern pricing. And they have whatever their extras are, but I felt like I paid a reasonable price to get a polished game.
Okay. But at the same time, people on Kickstarter are under no onus to actually finish whatever they were paid for.
They're not. So I took that risk. But I took the risk. But there are a lot of games that look really good on Kickstarter that I do not fund. Although I kind of want to play them, there are a lot of games that are like, you know what, I'll wait and see. If it gets funded, I'll pay full price for it when it comes out. And if it doesn't, it's no big loss. I didn't pay money for a game that never got released.
Yeah.
There's a few games. There's a few games actually that I saw. There's one. It's an Android game now. It's like a Starship game. It's like Starship Micromanagement. I can't remember the name of it, but I bought that after it was released for full price, as opposed to getting like, you know, I kickstarted it and I saved $10. Fuck that. I'll spend the extra $10 for a game that's polished, as opposed to spending $50 on a game that never got finished.
It's funny. Starship Micromanagement sounds a lot like FTL. You guys ever played
FTL? I think FTL was kickstarted.
Yeah, FTL was kickstarted, but
Yeah.
it was a game that continues to put. They just put a new update out the other day, which added a bunch of new aliens, new ships, and shit like that. So that's a I don't know. That's one that I'm not totally angry at. Like that's one they're working still. They're still building on something they've made, so I'm kind of okay with that one. I guess. Like Minecraft, I don't mind Minecraft because they're putting shit out. Like nobody has ever asked me for any more money for Minecraft, and I keep getting shit for free. I've turned it on. It's like, hey, there's some more free shit. I'm like, oh, right on.
Yeah, and I bought FTL. I bought FTL from I think Humble Bundle maybe. And it was a great game, and I was happy to give them my money. Although with a Humble Bundle, it means I still spent less. But yeah, I've only kickstarted 2 games. I've actually kickstarted a few games, and then went back in later when I was not confident in their ability to complete, and canceled my funding.
Right.
And some games actually turns out it was a pretty wise decision. So yeah, I would totally kickstart a game as long as the developer had a reputation, like a like Brian Fargo, who's part of Harebrained Schemes, which did Shadowrun, who was part of, you know, he was the guy who did the original Shadowrun, as well as he was the original producer of Fallout. So I had a lot of faith in that guy, and I kickstarted it, and they're done. They released it, and then actually next month they have the next big expansion for Shadowrun, which I get for free, or at least part of the original cost. So that's fine, and I would do it if I had confidence in it.
Sorry, I had to kill Sam. Ah, damn it. Got me with that rocket.
But you know, at this point too, also now, I'm also sort of a little Kickstartered out. I think a lot of the big developers are going to Kickstarter.
You know, I got tired of Kickstarter when movies really grabbed them.
And it's sort of like I'm kind of burned out.
Yeah, you were breaking up there, Bill, just so you know.
I feel like they're just asking for fans to, well,
no, you're good.
Nothing to do about it.
Keep going.
Kickstarter is now starting to feel like alpha access to me.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, oh, pay us $60, and then we'll release some unfinished shit, and then basically you'll never hear from us again.
I totally agree. I lost all faith in Kickstarter when the Veronica Mars movie got greenlit through. Don't get me wrong, I love Veronica Mars. I love everybody involved in Veronica Mars. I like that they're making a movie. I don't like that as a Kickstarter campaign funder. I have paid whatever I donated, and then I still have to go pay to see that movie. I'm a producer at that point.
Right.
I should get one free ticket for my $90 or whatever the fuck it is. Whatever it is, you should get something other than thanks for making our movie. Now come see it, and here's the $12 price tag or wherever the fuck you live.
Yeah. I mean, I 100% agree.
But what can you do? It's the nature we live in. People are going to
Yeah,
pay
I mean, you
what
just
they want.
choose not to kickstart those things, and then people have to sort of reassess. Well, why did this fail? What aren't people interested in Kickstarter? And then hopefully they ask the community and go, well, I'm not really interested in funding your movie, and then you turn it around and charging me to see your movie that I fucking funded. Like,
yeah.
what the fuck? Celebrities not thinking of this. They just deserve our money. Anybody.
Yeah.
Developers, producers, anybody.
See, and that's actually
about
something that's
earning
gotten to me too.
job.
Veronica. God, what the fuck's her name? That the tech.
Kristen Bell.
Huh?
Kristen Bell.
Kristen
No.
Bell.
The tech girl.
Oh, Veronica
Yeah.
Belmont?
Like her and her.
I mean, whatever.
Her book club thing.
Sword and
Yeah,
Laser.
they went on Kickstarter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Tom Merritt. Her and Tom Merritt.
They went on Kickstarter and they said, okay, we need this much to be able to produce X amount of videos over a certain amount of time. And it was something like they got something like $40,000 or $50,000 for it.
That's goddamn ridiculous.
And I'm like, what?
Dude. It's begging fucking money. You're a vagrant. At
Right,
that
like
point.
you need that much money seriously to.
You already had a successful show.
He got booted off of the Twit network, Tom Merritt. So
I don't give a fuck.
losing.
That's okay. You didn't get booted off the fucking internet though. You can make your own show is a thing. You don't need $20 donations from fucking 200 people to fucking make your show last. That's to me. That's you asking the public to pay for you to live while you entertain them, which is it's a valid thing. But don't bullshit and lie about it. Don't gloss it with fucking, hey, we're not making any money and the only way to do this is by your support. No, there's another way to do it. It's get a job and do it in your free time like every other fucking neurojuicer and chess dog and Sam in America. Do it that way. Don't like Sam could make his show strictly on fucking Kickstarter funds if he tried hard enough. But why in the fuck would you bamboozle people like that? In my opinion,
Right.
like it seems fucked up.
No, I wholeheartedly agree. My fiance was sitting down, and there was a guy who had started an Indiegogo campaign to fund his yoga studio. And she said, she asked me, she's like, well, should I try and start like a Indiegogo or like a crowdsource thing? I was like, for what? She's like, well, I want to go to school for, further my yoga teaching. I'm like, well, but who are you asking for money, and what value do you give them? She's like, well,
Is it a lack of ambition, or is it a lack of like?
she
Why
was
do you
very
need that money?
she doesn't understand how it works exactly. So very sincerely, and I know her, and she's a much nicer person than I am, and so she would not deliberately rip people off, but she didn't understand how it works. It's like, can I just ask people to give me money so I can finish going to school? Like, well, that's not how it works. It's like, you're asking for producers. Like, you're going to ask people for money, and they have to get something for their money. You can't ask people to help you finish your acro yoga schooling,
Right.
Because you just
And
want
Kickstarter
it.
specifically
You need to
says
give
that.
them
Like,
something
you can't ask to fund your life.
Right.
Indiegogo will allow you. Kickstarter, you have to meet your goal where you get no money. Indiegogo, you get whatever's been donated, whether or not you hit your goal
Oh,
or
really?
not.
Where's the accounting on this though? Like, after the money left,
there is none.
Who's to say I don't buy beer and smokes with it?
Right.
There's nobody who can say it. Even Kickstarter. Like, there was a guy I tracked. He was making a really cool looking cyberpunk CGI movie, and some of the stills he was creating looked outstanding. They looked phenomenal. I was very excited about this. I followed it, but I didn't kickstart it. So a bunch of people did though, and he met his funding, and he got actually like a ton of money. Like, he wanted like 100,000, he got like 250,000, and or something like that. And so anyway, a year goes by, and I would check back because, like I said, I'm following my stuff for Wasteland and for Shadowrun.
Right.
And I would check back on this stuff, and people were like, "Yo, what the fuck?" And like I would start, and then I would follow this one guy. He's got like an Asian name. He's an Asian guy. He never, after he got all the money, nothing. Radio silence. People started fucking hounding him on Twitter and his email, and he would make like once every 6 months a post like, I just got hired to go to the firm and I don't have time. Well, that's it. Like, people spend money to see this dude who they believed had talent make this fucking cool movie, and he's like, nah, forget it, never mind, I don't have time. But he took the fucking money. Yeah, that's it. And that was Kickstarter. So he got all the money, and now he's working for like some other big 3D animation studio, but he never made this movie that people paid him to make.
Yep.
And I tried to explain that to my fiance, like, you need to give people value, or you're a fucking charlatan, and you're a liar and a thief. So if you want to go to school for yoga, you just need to pay for school for yoga and not ask people. Unless people want to pay for you to go fucking yoga school. It's fucking America. It's a free country. Ask motherfuckers. But don't lie about it. Don't lead them to believe that they're getting something out of your education.
I suspect, though,
free yoga fucking courses.
Right. I suspect, like me, you are someone who can find the benefits of Kickstarter or an Indiegogo, though. As the internal artist struggle that I have,
totally.
Like, you can see, like, there's a reason why that's there, but the abusers are the ones that are just like anything.
Right.
You know, the ones that are just deep dicking it are the ones fucking it up.
Oh, I would, for example, and I didn't, I was kind of like, I didn't get into it because I don't know that yoga is obviously not relevant to gaming, but, as my fiance, we started talking about, I was like, if you want people to kickstart your school, then if you're successful and you get your money and you have a successful practice of, a yoga studio, all of those people who helped you get that, they get a lifetime free or some sort of tier. 6 months, a year, lifetime. If they spent, $1,000 or $10,000, you give them some reward for saying thank you for funding me. Obviously, you already spent some money. I'm not going to ask you to double spend like the fucking, that movie. I'm not gonna fund your movie and then go pay to see the fucking movie I funded.
Exactly.
So the Veronica Mars thing. So yeah, I mean, I do see benefit and value in there. And if you can give that back to the people who are helping you, awesome. But,
I got an example of 2 movies that I think help this point. Maybe they might hurt it. I don't know. There's the Veronica Mars one where it's a successful television show for 3 years with multiple guest stars of varying celebrity, and it's made its mark on television history. It's great. It got canceled, right? It's done. It's had its run. Oh, nice shot, Sam. But there's an Adam Carolla movie who he made a movie. He tried to go the studio path. People didn't. I mean, it has 98% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, it's a good movie. It's called The Hammer. It's a good ass movie. Really good from a movie guy. It's a good movie. Made it himself, and now he's making a new one through Kickstarter because he just legitimately, like, he's a guy. He's wealthy, but he doesn't have money to fund a movie. But he's done it the right way, I feel, through Kickstarter, where he's doing private comedy shows for people who donate. That's a fucking commitment to drive or fly to somebody's house who donated enough money to do an hour-long private comedy show in your fucking house, dude. Whoever dude, comedians, they bomb, dude. I just no-scoped the dick out of you. They fucking bomb like nothing, dude. Like, that's a scary sight. Like, what if the 10 people that the guy who donated invited you to the house doesn't like what you do? I mean, you got your money, but you've disappointed 10 fucking people. Like,
Right.
you live on that reaction as a comedian. That's one of the ways that I think Kickstarter works. Like, when you give back, when you are appreciative of the thing that's being made by the people that are donating.
Right. I mean, that sort of comes back with the Kickstarters to, you know, like that Anita Sarkeesian chick.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
she asked for $6,000, ended up getting $150,000. Although I am not very happy with the way she did that, because she really played people and she basically trolled the internet and won. But you know, her thing had said, you know, if you donate X amount, you're going to get this by this date. Well, that date came and passed, and people still would not ask like what was going on. But then one guy who was a supporter did ask on her Kickstarter thing, and she got banned from her. The person got banned from her Kickstarter.
You know, the Kickstarter, the conspiracy theorist in me almost wants to say, one of these days you're going to be giving money to something to kill some fucking government official in Afghanistan or something. You know, the fucking conspiracy theorist in me sees fucking Kickstarter as a bad thing, like a slush fund, essentially. Who knows? Maybe that's just the Garrett and me speaking out.
Well, you know, here's the thing. Nobody's forced to pay. You offer your pitch. People can buy into it or not. I just think on a personal level, I need to be upfront. It's just who I am as a person, and I'm not even giving myself. It's not even like I'm breaking my arm, pat myself on the back. I got a lot of character flaws, but one of them isn't ripping people off. So
Not yet.
And you know, Kickstarter doesn't have any real fail safes. If you fund a project and you get burned, you just get burned, and that's it.
Yeah. That sucks. Donate at your own fucking will.
But you know, yeah, exactly. But you know what? Because of that, because I listen to guys like Leo Laporte, who's like kickstarted a lot of things and maybe got like one actual return on things. I've got 100% return on investment with Kickstarter because I've funded 2 things and I've gotten things back. So
that's
you know,
nice.
And well, because you know, there were like developers that I was like, oh yeah, no, these guys, they get to what you were saying, Matt. Like, if you rip people off, that's it. There goes your credibility. You can never ask for any more money again. You're done. You get that one shot. You fucked up. People are like, well,
you better ask for a lot.
Great example would be, and I forget the Silicon Knights, Dennis Dyack. They fucking sold all their resources to some weird shady shit where like they started a new company. The new company bought the assets of Silicon Knights, but it was still Dennis Dyack was associated with it. Who like it was like, you know, if you're familiar with the history of Silicon Knights and their litigation with Epic with what was their techno-Norse mythology thing, or whatever the fuck it was?
Oh yeah, I vaguely remember that game. It wasn't even a good game from what most people said.
No, I skipped it.
Too Human, I think it was.
Too Human, yep.
Anyway, it sucked, and the game sucked really bad, and they blamed Epic's Unreal Engine 3 on it, but tons of people are using the Unreal Engine, no problem. So they were just trying to like pass the buck on some Epic. And so anyway, so they form a new company. Dennis Dyack is not the CEO, but he's like chief creative officer or whatever the fuck. And they tried to kickstart some game, and they didn't meet their goal because nobody fucking trusted Dennis Dyack, because one of the things that he was infamous for was never meeting deadlines with his publishers. Yeah. So they tried, and they went for, I think, like some real high number, like let's just say I don't actually know what it was, but let's just say it was like $900,000. It's kind of a lot, close to $1 million. So they couldn't meet the goal. So then they restarted the Kickstarter for like a third of that money. Couldn't get the money. Nobody fucking trusted him. And that was not because he fucked people over with Kickstarter. That's just because he already had a reputation of being a shitty, unreliable developer.
Right.
So that's it. Like, you fuck up in Kickstarter, you get one shot. And if you blow it, you're done. And that might not be much consolation to people who actually contributed to the first time some guy who's a fucking con artist kickstarted once, ripped you off. Not much consolation to people who got burned on that, but if you're somebody who's like a passionate creator, an artist, game developer, whatever, you don't want to blow that. So that's one of the things that we rely on is, we kind of hope like guys like Harebrained Games who did Shadowrun, they were successful with Shadowrun. They might want to come back and get more funding for other Shadowrun games. Since they've delivered and they've been successful, they're almost guaranteed to be successful a second time. They ripped me off, ripped a bunch of people off, that's it, they're done.
Okay, closing out real quick on the Kickstarter thing, and hopefully on everything. If you were to buy a Kickstarter game, let's say, or a movie, let's go with game, because it seems to be what we're talking about more often than not. Do you expect, let's say you donate $20, do you expect to get the full game?
You are a producer at that point. You should at least...
What do you expect out of a donation?
You should at least get whatever you donated taken off of the price, and if you donated the full price of the game or more, then you get the game for free, plus whatever extras they want to give you for donating more than the full price.
But at that point, that game company then has to hire an accountant or somebody to figure all that shit out and cost them more money. Let's say that you make a $20 donation. What do you expect out of that?
Well, wait a minute. I don't think it requires hiring an accountant. I think that I really do think it's important for the person who's kickstarting to establish the tiers, and Kickstarter has tiers. I don't know if Indiegogo does. I've never used it. But to say, if you're going to donate $1, thank you. Just a thank you. That's it. Just know that we thank you. If you're going to donate $20, you get, $20 off the price of retail. And that all can be automated through a database.
And Kickstarter keeps that database for that, too. They can just go and look and see who donated and what.
And that's what I was saying earlier, is I donated whatever the tier was closest to the cost of a normal game, $50 or $60, because I felt like I was contributing to what is the reasonable price of a modern game cost.
Let me rephrase the question then. What do you guys want out of a $20 donation towards a video game?
One, to get it finished.
Instead of, because they do offer, I just realized, I remember they offer your T-shirts and your fucking voicemails and whatever from this person or that person. But what do you, besides all that bullshit, what do you expect? Here's $20 towards Kickstarter. In 1 month, I expect, what is it?
Well, you can't really say in 1 month
know, maybe
for games.
Swag, maybe?
Yeah, swag would be about all you could expect in a month. I mean, game development takes longer than a month, but...
At a year out, what do you want? You want an alpha build?
Yeah.
With just $20?
Yeah.
I at least want to be able to see that the progress is being made. So I would say after a year, they should have an early alpha that they can show off. Don't necessarily that you have to play, but that they can show off and say, here's where we're going so far.
What gets you
after?
Yeah, maybe I wouldn't even say alpha. I would say, again, swag, some T-shirts, some stickers, or maybe, some access to the forums is exclusive, so I get an inside track to the progress of the game that even the gaming media doesn't get, some stuff like that. I don't expect for $20 any kind of playable state, alpha or not, of the game. I just expect.
I'm not saying playable. I'm saying I want to see if I put $20 towards it in a year. I want to see progress because I put $20 to it.
Okay. I want, as let's say, I've never donated to Kickstarter other than the Veronica Mars thing, which I'm still slighted about. Let's say I donate $20. I want the game. Let me think of the best way to phrase this. If I donate $20, I want maybe a guarantee, not necessarily a guarantee. Jeez. I'm really fumbling my words here and what I want to try to say to try to make it poignant. And now it's not going to be as poignant as I want. I want the game to... Like, if I donate $20, I want to goddamn make sure I have at least access to the game. I want to be able to play... This is what I want. if you donate, I want a time release donation. If you're the first 500 people, this is what I was trying to say. If you're the first 500 people or first 1,000 people to donate, you have unlimited access to the lifetime of that game. Whether it's from the alpha build through the full build through the DLC, if you're the first 1,000 people to donate $20. That's the limit. $20. First 1,000 people, you have unlimited access to that game. Anyone after that pays full price. I would like some kind of.
That's different because you're doing it's almost like a timed exclusive. Like basically, if you were lucky, it's almost like a radio contest where you call be the 100th, the first 100, first. What if it's 100 listeners to win tickets or something? That's almost like a raffle.
Okay, take the raffle away from it and put it into a date format. From from February 2nd to July 3rd. If you donate $20, you have absolute access to this game. Is that better?
I guess. Look, here's my thing. I want to support the developer, and I don't want to undercut them. So $20 for me, I don't. If the developer wants to say we'll give a set some parameter, if it's first 1,000 or if it's from this day to this day, and you get exclusive content forever, that's on them. But personally, I feel like if I was a developer, I would say $20 gets you some T-shirts, and you'll get onto the VIP section of the website. And you get some updates to the game that no one else has.
Yeah.
I want to play the game because $20 isn't the cost of a fucking video game that I'm sweating and busting my ass to bank.
Right. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's pretty much what I was saying is you get some sort of knowledge of the progression of the game.
Well, yeah, $20 was an arbitrary number I threw out, by the way. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
If you donate $1, whatever. Most people don't care about donating $1 to anything. But yeah, when you start getting up to like 20, 30, 50, some of them have like $1,000 donations. You expect to see progress.
I think $10 is a keychain or a sticker or something at least.
I wouldn't even expect that for $1, but yeah.
I said 10.
But you get up. I mean, some of these Kickstarters have like $1,000 donation things, and if you're down, if you're donating something like that, I mean, you definitely expect, especially if the Kickstarter succeeds. You expect to see the progress, period.
Yeah, I see the movie ones that are like 10 grand donations.
Yeah, they're
like, who the fuck has 10 grand to donate? You're already a movie producer at that point.
Right, and pretty much movie producers are the only ones donating that.
You just didn't have the network.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys got anything else to say? Call this a night.
I got none. Yeah, I'm gonna call it a night. I'm gonna go to sleep.
Yeah, no, seems pretty good.
This was a fun Matt and Sam play fucking Halo 4 Legendary. So thank you, Bill, for being here, tuning in, and staying up way past your bedtime and chatting with us.
Yeah, and we can make we can get together on like Google Docs and make some topics for say next week. We can do this next week if you guys want to.
Yeah, I'm down for like a next Saturday for sure. We'll keep in touch.
Word.
Sounds good.
All right. So that was the first 2 levels. Stumbled through, and a griff ball stumbled through. Thanks for tuning in, both of you. I'll talk to you guys
later, man.
All right, guys.
You too.
Night.
Later.